Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rise. We're back here at Clearwater Toyota, and guess what? I have that one SUV that's been in Toyota's lineup for quite some time now. It's this vehicle right here. This is a 2025 Toyota Highlander. This particular one is a Highlander Hybrid, and it is right in the middle of the sweet spot of trims. It's the Highlander Hybrid Platinum. But before we get into this mid-size 3-row SUV with some fuel sipping qualities, let's talk about what's going on here. So yes, you heard correctly. This Highlander, well, the name Highlander, has been around since Y2K, the year 2000. That's when Toyota featured the vehicle. They launched it at the New York Auto Show. Then for 2001, that's when they went into full production. So 25 years we're talking here, and the Highlander is still going strong, so much so that you could actually get a Grand Highlander, which is a totally different vehicle in their lineup. Now in this 3-row crossover SUV segment, there's a lot of competition, especially when you look at one of the other big rivals that's been around for a long time, the Honda Pilot. But what I want to find out is this Highlander the must-own, especially if you want some good fuel economy, but you don't want to give up on that versatility? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this one and see if we can find out. Right off the bat, the color. Ruby flare metallic. It's like somebody shot a flare right off of their sinking boat in the Gulf. That's what this looks like. It's so bright, so metallic. They did a great job with it. Now at the front of the business, you're gonna see LED headlights, LED daytime running lamp. The one zonk I have is what's going on in there. You could see him. I see Thomas Edison rocking in his rocking chair. That's an old-fashioned light bulb for a turn signal. That's a big zonk. But definitely one of those vehicles that when it comes to style, the Highlander recently got a redesign a few years ago, then they did a refresh. It still looks very modern. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Now, as we work our way down, you do have your LED fog lamps. We have them nicely illuminated, some flat black, but I like the way that they sculpt that lower corner area. They definitely made the Highlander from the previous generation to this generation, they made it look more aggressive in a good way. The previous generation, depending on what grille you have, it looks almost like a Norelco razor. It's really interesting on the design, but let me know what you think about the design of this Highlander so far. Now, as we come across the Platinum grille, Platinum is gonna get you some bling blinging chrome style finish. It circles right around the Toyota badge. You do have a forward facing camera, and I like the way it has these gloss black horizontal accents that's surrounded by that thin strip of the chrome material. I know chrome isn't really everybody's favorite, but guess what? There's really a Highlander for everybody, including an XSE trim, which is a sporty style trim. So if you don't like this one, there's other ones to choose from. Down below, you do have a bunch of flat black, which I think is totally fine. It's gonna take a better beating over time, and it is functional in that lower grille area. But let me know what you think about the complete face of this Highlander. Is it bland? Is it a little bit long in the tooth? Or are you still thinking that it looks fresh? Let me know in the comment section. Now, as we rise up, I'm really digging how they did this indentation in the center of the hood. Notice how the hood and the front fascia meets up perfectly. It's like the Egyptians built this freaking Highlander, just like the pyramids. Now, as we come around the bend, when you go Platinum trim, you are gonna get some bling blinging wheels. We have these hand polished aluminum wheels, split spoke design all the way around. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this wheel? 20-inch wheel in diameter. Tires are gonna be 235 on the width, 55 series sidewall. You know where I'm going, right? Where am I going? Zonking that. WTF, what the fudge? This should all be ruby flare. This color is so beautiful. Why are we putting flat black on a Platinum trim? Put that on an LE trim or something, not on Platinum. Platinum, that's not Platinum. This is flat black. So definitely got to zonk that. Now the good news is that as we rise up, For 2025, all hybrids are now standard all-wheel drive. You used to be able to get a hybrid just front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Now they're all standard with all-wheel drive. Ruby Flare metallic on the mirror caps. You got your turn signals built in. I like the way they black out the A-pillar, just the A-pillar. But there's a zonk. Where am I going? Follow the finger. Why? Why do they put the all-wheel drive badge down there? If anything, you're gonna wanna put it towards the rear wheels, because we already know it's front-wheel drive. Terrible placement, and then I'm still just scratching my head. So that's a zonk for sure. You have your bright silver roof rails, nice and close to the body. And then on the platinum trim, you do get some shiny bright metalwork, but it's only along the bottom, which is good. Color match on the door handles. You can see the overall dimensions. This is a midsize. It is smaller than, of course, the Grand Highlander, and it is a little smaller than some of the other midsize 3-rows, like the Kia Telluride. Now, working our way towards the rear, the trim comes to a nice needle point right on that rear quarter glass. And then coming around the back, they did a great job with styling the rear spoiler. Just gotta zonk this wiper. This wiper's gotta go, but it tucks underneath very nicely. And then you do get some very nicely styled taillight lenses, just like the headlight lenses up front, but you'll notice there's that old-fashioned light bulb for the turn signal. You do have LED lights for the tail lights. Highlander name spelled out, limited. You could put the all-wheel drive badge right here. That would have been perfect. And because this is a hybrid, that's what HEV. If you're wondering what's HEV or HEVE, hybrid electric vehicle. That's what that means. Now, working our way down to ground level, I like how they finished it off super clean, especially with this metallic gunmetal gray painted finish rather than flat black. But I'm still bothered. I'm still hung up on the freaking fenders. Why do they have black plastic around the fenders? But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk about MPGs of this SUV. All right, guys, we got the hood popped on our Highlander Hybrid. There is a prop rod. I do have to zonk that. On this vehicle, it should be just hood struts, but underneath the hood is where you find that tried and true power plant. So what do we have? It's a 2.5 liter inline 4 naturally aspirated engine. It's paired to 3 electric motors. One of those motors is out on the rear axle to drive the rear wheels. Combined horsepower, 243 horsepower. It uses a direct drive transmission, 0 to 60 in 7.3 seconds. Top speed is governed to 118 miles an hour. The vehicle does weigh 4,615 pounds, but here's where you're gonna win. 35 MPGs in the city, 35 MPGs on the highway, gives you a 35 MPG rating combined. So 35 across the board. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this hybrid Highlander and see how it rolls. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Toyota Highlander, this being a hybrid platinum trim. Now, don't get upset. You're still going to be able to get your non-hybrid Highlander. They still make those. They're still available. When it comes to the hybrid, the great news is, like I said, they're all-wheel drive. And I know you're probably saying to yourself, well, Joe, we've only owned Highlanders in my family. We actually were the first ones in a small town in Wisconsin to have a Highlander back in all the way in 2001. So I'm really digging this one. How much is it? Very good question. MSRP, the way that this one is optioned, being a platinum, is right around $55,000. Let's see what you get when you go platinum Highlander to the door panels. I love the nice clean style. You have that soft touch up top. I wish that the wood finish didn't have the gloss on it, but it does look classy for the platinum trim. And then I'm really digging the lighter gray. So much better than beige or white. No gloss black around the switchgear. Door pocket is large enough to where you could take the family and get 4 Costco hot dogs in there with no problem. Now, when you go from the door panel to the dash, we got the JBL sound system, 11 speaker sound system, soft touch with the stitching. That metallic gray finish is really, really nice because look, no fingerprints. You could put your baker's dozen of Twinkies in your Twinkie tray here. And the way that they did all the stitching and the soft touch just really elevates the feel. Now, as you slide on in, you're gonna get your 12.3-inch infotainment system. It is that familiar Toyota multimedia software. I hit the little car icon because this is a hybrid. I could show you the hybrid layout. Like I said, the motors, one there and then one on the rear axle, helps get that amazing MPGs and give you the power. You could also bring up your climate control. I'm gonna throw it into reverse. Nice clear resolution on your backup camera, your 360. So they got you covered there. And you have your dual climate controls with the readouts on the knobs. I do like that touch. Physical buttons for your 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats, wireless charging, and then you have your power on button because this is a hybrid, easy to get to. A USB-A, two USB-Cs, and a 12-volt. And then you have a place where you could slide in, I would say, 4 packages of Reese's peanut butter cups. This is gonna control your direct drive transmission. You do have 2 cup holders and you have your Highlander specific key fob. It actually says Highlander on it with the switch gear on the front. You got your trail mode, your EV mode, and then you have where you could actually go through the rest of your drive modes. Now, my only zonk with this is why not put these other modes within the toggle switch? Why do we need more buttons? For fun? For funsies? I'm not really digging that. I do like the soft material on the armrest, especially that's gray, and it's got that cool like Rolodex sliding feature to it. Now you have a little bit of a coin area. You could put your, Aladdin's Castle game tokens in here. I remember the days I used to feel so rich. You go into your local arcade. For me, it was Aladdin's Castle. You had a crisp, freshly printed $5 bill. And you put that $5 bill in the token machine and all those tokens come raining down, you felt like you hit the lottery. It was an amazing experience. The rest of the room, you could actually put in here, I would say, at least 18 VHS tapes. So if you're saving the memories, I don't know about your family, but my dad always had the big old camcorder out and wanted to film everything from, Christmas, birthdays, all sorts of family outings. You could keep those in there. Just make sure you go and you transfer them to DVD because you'll lose those memories forever as the magnetic strip wears out. So you don't want to lose the memories. So bring that to get crossed over. Seats, the soft-tex material. Love the clean design. Electric assist for the passenger, electric assist for the driver, and you have in the Platinum trim a standard size sunroof. I'm okay with that. Why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel in this Highlander. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings, so you can let somebody borrow your Highlander. You got the Highlander aluminum sill plate. And then, of course, you got your easy access seat controls. Seats are so comfortable. Toyota does a great job on those long distance seats. And it makes sense because if you're getting over 30 miles to the gallon in here, you're not stopping at gas stations that much. So you want to have a comfortable seat. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of headroom even with the sunroof. And then you have your leather wrap steering wheel. Not my favorite horn button. I hope that one day soon they change these ugly horn buttons. But you do have flat black on the switchgear, manual tilting telescoping steering wheel. And then over here you do have a heated steering wheel. And you press that button, that's going to give you your 360 view camera search angle with your cameras around the vehicle. And then guess what? You have a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. Watch this. This is like going to Aladdin's Castle. You got your different modes, sport, normal, eco. Actually, it's not like going to Aladdin's Castle. Aladdin's Castle was way cooler than these 3 different modes. And then, like I said, there's trail mode. So kind of interesting how they have that separated, but the graphics and everything are wonderful. No head-up display on a Platinum. I don't know how you feel about that. But let's go ahead. Let's get in the mid row and the third row because we do have 2 more rows in this 3-row SUV. All right, guys, mid-row time and third row time. We're gonna try to do this all in one shot in this 3-row Highlander. Love the seats, like I said, very comfortable, very supportive. It's close. I'm not gonna zonk it. They actually made, it looks like they made this a little bit larger. I just wish it was just a tad more. Take a look at a Ford Explorer, one of my Ford Explorer reviews, and then compare it to this, and you'll see why I get so frustrated with these captain's chair armrests. Now, you do have tons of pockets, 2 of them on the back. This is good because you can get your travel size Battleship, maybe travel size Life, maybe even travel size Hungry Hungry Hippo. I used to love Hungry Hungry Hippo. Have those to play in the back. You do have your little command center here for your AC adjustments. Down below, look at this, more connectivity than freaking Radio Shack had. 2 USB-Cs and a 12 volt. I like the way they got the nice covers. The seats, they slide, they recline. Plus, I like having those little sunshades so you don't have to stick more. I hate when people go and they get like the little pieces of window tint and they stick it on. It looks like total garbage on their brand new car. Like, why are you doing that? But the seats do recline. You have a little party tray area in the center, 2 cup holders and a place for 2 Hostess cupcakes. And then here we go. Watch my hand. You're gonna come here. You're not watching my hand. Come on in. Watch my hand. Pull it up. Boom. Slides forward. Now, I'm gonna move, I'm telling you now what I'm doing because I don't want you to be like, oh, you moved the seat up, blah, blah, blah. I'm moving the seat up, and you'll see why. So we're moving the seat up. I'm gonna squish myself like a bug. There we go. All right, let me get this seatbelt out of my back. So, this is what you got for the third row. And this is why I say if you really need usability for a third row, get the freaking Grand Highlander. This is ridiculous. My knees are too high. I have to hunch over because the headliner, thank God they have AC vents back here because I'd be roasting like a Thanksgiving Day turkey and there's no plug-in capability. So a little bit of a bummer there, but I think this is smart. Actually, Latte Lori brought this up, so we got to give her the credit, not me. Lori thinks that Toyota should make this a 2-row when they do the redesign and keep the Grand Highlander a 3rd row. Let me know what you think about Lori's thoughts. I'm very impressed with her idea. I like it. And if Toyota's listening, they'd be stupid not to do it. But why don't we go ahead? Let's get the cargo area because I want to go for a hyper-miling drive in this Highlander. All right, guys, cargo area time. We're gonna hit the button. Nice electric assist on the Platinum trim. You're gonna be greeted to about 16.8 cubic feet of space with the 3rd row up. Now, you'll notice on the driver's side, we have our JBL subwoofer, thump-a-dump-dump, and then you have a home power source, which is great. If you're tailgating, if you're at the beach, if you're at a campsite. Now to get the 3rd row down, it is a 60-40 split. It's really easy to do. I prefer it not to have any electric assist. You just lift up and then that folds down and then it goes nice and flat. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. That gives you 48 cubic feet of space. It's actually 48.4 if you're really counting. And then if you put down the mid row, it's 84.3 cubic feet of space. Now, in that 3rd row, like I was trying to show you, it's bare bones. No USB-Cs, no nice soft touch material. You do have the AC vents like I pointed out, but being in the 3rd row, you're gonna get a little squished like a bug, and you're not gonna have all the amenities. And then to pull the seats back up, you're just gonna use the tether. Look how easy that is. Just like that. This side comes up, just like that. Voila. And we almost forgot, if you're carrying all the secret Twinkies and contraband across state lines, you do have a storage area here. Just don't get busted with the contraband, especially the ho-ho contraband. But why don't we go ahead, get your ho-hos, get your butt in there, and let's go for a spin in this Highlander. All right, guys, we're behind the wheel of this 2025 Toyota Highlander Hybrid Platinum trim. I'm gonna go ahead and put it into sport mode. You got your 3 modes, sport, normal, eco, plus the trail, plus the EV mode. And right away, it's really, really smooth in the operation of the hybrid system. And that makes sense because Toyota has been doing hybrids for well over 30 years. So you're not gonna really feel a lot of the engine turning on and off, even though it is, which is really great. Now, getting to that 12.3 inch, well within reach. I could go ahead and show you the energy flow display there. Tons of good storage in here, which is also really nice. And the fact that there's not just gloss black covering everywhere is very refreshing, because I'm a little over the gloss black. Not just on the outside of cars, but also on the inside. Visibility is great, and with the all-wheel drive, you're gonna have that secure, planted feel that you want. That naturally aspirated inline 4 has been around for a while. And remember, there is no drive shaft connecting the power to the rear wheels. It's an electric motor out back. But let's go on throttle. On throttle, here we go. Power gets to the ground very, very effectively. With that direct drive transmission setup. But notice how quiet it is in here. Very, very smooth, very comfortable. Now, of course, depending on what mode you're in, that's going to adjust the throttle sensitivity, steering sensitivity, and everything else. But having your Toyota Sensing 3.0 plus safety, it's kind of cool to have the power flow display so you can see how your hybrid system is working. Your lane keep assist, all the information you could bring up on the dash. The only thing that kind of ruins the driving experience a little bit is that there's no simulated shifts for the direct drive transmission setup in here. That really is one of the big things that kind of hurts the overall driving engagement. But let's go on throttle. On throttle, here we go. So see, I'm on throttle and it's just pegged. You get that RPM drone. So it would have been nice if they would have added some simulated shifts to help bring that down a little bit. But if you got your JBL sound system with the 11 speakers kicking, that's probably not gonna bother you very much. But I just love the seats, the quality of the materials, how everything is well laid out in here, and the fact that you have real knobs and buttons for the important stuff, like your heated and ventilated seats and like your dual climate control, is very refreshing in the modern era where everything is going in the screen. But very, very easy to drive. And if you haven't been in a midsize, this is probably one of the better ones to drive when you're new to a little bit larger size SUV. With it being a hybrid, you actually lower your center of gravity, which is nice when it comes to the handling. And then of course, the all-wheel drive keeps you very, very planted. I'm glad that they don't pump in a bunch of fake noise through the speaker system, which is nice. You do hear the 4-cylinder working when it's time to go on throttle or get on the gas, but other than that, when the hybrid system is going on and off in the city and whatnot, you're not really feeling the effect of that on and off. But just really comfortable. And just when it comes to fuel efficiency, I mean, come on. Absolutely mind-blowing. But I'm hoping that this has been a good, quick overall review of this Highlander Hybrid Platinum trim. We're gonna get back to Clearwater Toyota and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a nanosecond. All right, guys, another great day here at Clearwater Toyota. Definitely got to thank Chris and the rest of the crew getting us access to this 2025 Highlander Hybrid Platinum trim. Let me know what you think. Is this the must own, especially if you want that amazing fuel efficiency? for a midsize 3-row? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rise family. Gotta give it up to Latte Lori, also known as LGR, working that camera, working the coffee maker, working everything so well. So thank you, Lori, for your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.